afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We know that malnutrition is a solvable problem, but it's too complex to be solved by any one group. So in this session, we highlight the solutions from a group of technology entrepreneurs. And why we're talking about technology for public health is because technology can serve public interests. It can make the public health problem visible, whether it is rapid diagnosis or data visualization or managing supply chains efficiently or making sure services are well handled, whether it's from a smallholder farmer or the Asha Didi. And compared to many other countries, India does really well on two aspects on the technology front. One is that we encourage homegrown startups, and we encourage these startups to open up for the global economy. So today we have three inventors of three technologies who have developed inventions not only made in India for India, but for the world. Our first speaker today is Dr. Yogesh Patil. He's a doctor by education and MBA from IIT Bombay. He's a co-founder and director of Biosense, and right now Biosense has scaled up to really doing 15 million tests and about 1.5 crore individuals. So let's hear from Dr. Yogesh.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to a post-lunch session. As Kalpana told, I am a doctor and MBA from IIT Bombay. My journey actually started with my posting in Palghar district. Somebody mentioned Palghar frequently. I was posted as a part of my internship in Palghar in one of the PHC. And before that, in second year, we volunteered for an organization called Maitri in Melghat, which is a malnutrition center in India. Right now, we have developed about 6 different products which have scaled up from focusing on malnutrition to the other side of the spectrum also. And that's why we are always, when we try to explain it to our investors or stakeholders that what exactly is Biosense, we we couldn't define whether we are malnutrition focused company or we are over nutrition focused company. So we are actually both. So we are somewhere in middle. Uh, our first invention was developing non-invasive India's first non-invasive hemoglobinometer, which is being used by 2 state governments now. So I am one of those entrepreneurs who have actually developed and deployed in government. I know there are many thousand out there who are developing and wanting to deploy, but still have some way to go or some years to go. So this is my colleague Dr. Abhishek. We were roommates in our med school, and we faced very similar challenges of continuing our education. So we shifted our focus and started Biosense. Both of us went to IIT Bombay. Yeah. Into the mic. Okay. Both of us went to the IIT Bombay, where Abhishek did his MTech. I corrupted myself with management education to make a nice combo in front of investors. So far we raised $4 million in equity and grants. We are supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Grand Challenges Canada, Lemelson Foundation, Echoing Green Fellowship. A lot of well received applaud. These are the 6 technologies which I was been talking about. These are all developed by us. So we made India's first Bluetooth enabled glucometer. To my surprise, we being second largest population of diabetics, we still lacked a single indigenous glucometer, which is a basic equipment. And with ICMR, we took that challenge and we developed India's first Bluetooth enabled glucometer. We have now 120,000 people using this, and every month we are adding 10,000 users for this product. Then we developed TouchB, which is non-invasive hemoglobinometer, very basic screening tool for anemia classification, which uses a conjunctival pallor quantification technology based on image processing. Uh, we also developed a very lab accurate device called HB check, which can do HB test in seconds. and some of the products in a bag so that it can be done. This was one of the challenge when Maharashtra WCD wanted to work with us as an innovator. Can you develop something which is Bluetooth enabled and can talk to our platform and give us a real time assessment and all of that. So we actually developed it for them. We are in talks with whether it will be actually deployed or not, but yeah, we actually developed it. So based on this, we are giving few. We are working in state of Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, where we are actually giving some analytics, high risk case identification on real time basis as soon as the test is done in our devices. So these are the few live examples of the data where we are actually telling them that this is the district or this is the PHC where you have more prevalence or high risk cases of anemia or some other condition. Some of the trains based on monsoon and all of that we have done. To end my presentation, I've been told that I have to end it faster. This is something which I have been writing in my slides. It is my last slide for any nutrition forum for almost 6 years now. But couple of years back, I understood when I became a father uh, the meaning of this poem. It is written by Gabriela Mistral. Uh, she goes by some very long Spanish name, but she is a Nobel laureate in 1956. And I would urge you to read it yourself so that you can understand uh, the meaning of it. I am still discovering different aspects every time when I read this poem. So that's about me. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Yogesh. Reaching 15 million tests and finding a non-invasive solution that can be rapidly deployed in the field is a big achievement. Yeah? May I now call upon our second speaker, Taranjeet Singh. He's the CEO of AgNext. Taran has a BTech from IIT Kharagpur and then an MBA from IIM and been recently featured in Forbes. So Taran's company AgNest is the only company that we see today in our food systems that measures quality of the foods across the value chain. Over to you, Taran.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taranjeet and I represent AgNext today. Since you are at your nutritious best, let me drop a fairly bold statement that one of the best things which is we have to fight for nutrition. Please count this in my seconds.
The presentation.
Yeah. How do I see? All right. So let me drop a fairly bold statement that one of the biggest issues that we face for solving nutrition is something very subjective. It's intuition. So solving intuition is the biggest thing that we can derive in order to solve the nutrition for the world. And why would I say that? Because if I tell you that this nice looking guy drinking milk, if that child, if I tell you that 70% of the drink that he's having is contaminated, and it is just based on intuition, somebody says, oh, isme kuch mila hua hai. Similarly, if I would talk about, data which is, I say that farmers are still not paid across the value chain, and that's why their nutrition is not increasing. You would be amazed to know that the farmers are paid based on intuition and not on scientific tests. And this results in farmers not joining all of us in the whole value chain in order to solve this problem. So the problem is just not about solving the food, it's solving the food chain. And that's what AgNext is focused on. We are focused as a company to create rapid, intensive analysis across the value chain, and data which is, as I said today, there was a lot of discussion about data is available, but that data is macro, not micro. That data is on Excel sheets and not on, instant analytics. And that data is not on intuition, it's on intuition, not on scientific basis. So this is what AgNext is. What we intend to say is that there are billions worth of food every year which is procured or transported or even consumed with guess rather than the right quality parameters to be assessed, which actually leads to the right nutrition quality. So what does this lead to? I mean, you can fairly say that if the procurement is not right, the farmers never get a fair compensation and they are never part of the story. And coming up, storage or transport is not good. It leads to loss of nutrition as well as trade value. But the biggest thing that we are talking about here is consumption and leading to loss of consumer trust. So as a product, we have a product called Qualix, which is across the value chain in agriculture and food systems, which integrates quality data using artificial intelligence with data sciences, which means we use spectrometry, we use image processing, and we use IoT in order to solve the issue of contamination. So for example, I'll just talk about one example, let's say milk. So we are the only company which does physical and chemical analysis in less than 10 seconds for both composition as well as contamination in less than 10 seconds together. So as we understand, milk, every 2 out of 3 Indians drinking it understand that this is very contaminated. 68.7% of milk is contaminated in the value chain. And the reason is during the festivals, you get to have a 4x demand. It's just because, so much mithai bechni padti hai. So where do you get that milk? So that's what, if you see, the contaminations in milk are usually urea, detergent, starch, water paint. And this is mixed, and there are chemical tests available, but these are in the labs, and it takes 10 to 15 days. And by that time, the food is in your stomach. India is going to have a serious problem in the next 5 years where milk will be one of the major reasons for cancer across us and our generations. So our technology does that, where we can work in less than 10 seconds on the spot to tell what is the contamination as well as composition, which is desired by all the milk collection centers all over India, which is fat, SNF, and protein. So imagine one technology which can give you all of this analysis using just one scan in less than 10 seconds. And it's just not milk. We are also working in spices. We are working in tea. We are working in so many of these food value chains in the coming future, where we will be building these technologies for instant contamination and composition analysis, which is chemical analysis without any labs on the spot. So for example, finding curcumin content in turmeric, we are 97% accurate in less than 10 seconds. So we are adding a lot more commodities, and this will be very beneficial to the whole value chain. And that's why I fairly want to say that it's just not the food problem, it's the whole value chain problem. And we should have tech, and we should involve people across the value chain. If farmers are not involved with you, forget about intuition and forget about nutrition. So these are few. We are working with governments across. We are working with Haryana. We are working with central government. We are working with large companies like ITC and NABARD. And the vision of the company is to actually work on providing contamination maps or nutrition maps, so that because this is instant, we get GPS data, we can say that which area is having more contamination and which area is having lesser. So we want to work with the government as well as private agencies to disseminate this technology across the food value chain. And as I said, we are here to ensure that we fight Kuposhan and that becomes our occupation. Thank you.
Thank you, Taran. That was very valuable to know the insights from the field, especially in the food value chains. May I now invite our third speaker, Shantanu Pathak. Shantanu has a PhD in biomedical engineering from IIT Bombay. He's a co-founder and CEO of CareNX. Shantanu is also the president of India's Innovation Scholar, and CareNX is trying to find streamlined solutions for healthcare delivery.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. It is really a pleasure to be here and be a part of a revolutionary movement that India is trying to set up on Poshan Abhiyan. what we realize that we have a beautiful ecosystem in place. We have human resources, and I'm collecting some points from the presentations those happened. There's a data which is available, and there is a hunger for data. And the approach that we are trying to put up, and so far we have put up, is collecting lot of data. The only question that triggered me when I was thinking about what I should do here is not about collecting the data, but utilization of the data at the micro level, and can we plan intervention with that? And that question triggered me to think from a different perspective how I can involve the last mile health worker, how I can involve the system, and the one game which we haven't played, involvement of the end beneficiary, which is pregnant women or family members. I think we have worked on a supply side, demand side is long way to go. And that's where Care Mother plans to come in. So we are a pregnancy care company. We are trying to engage stakeholders into the ecosystem and create a platform where government, gynecologists, doctors, health workers, and importantly, pregnant women also becomes part of the equation. How do we plan to achieve it? We have understanding of the equations that accessibility is a problem, affordability is an issue. High risk management or high risk identification is something that we have taken up as a primary component in our model, so that the health workers and the doctors are aware that these are the women where we want to focus upon. Now, equation between prenatal and postnatal and the overall nutrition phase is known. You are all the experts here, and I will not mention that. But focusing on high risk conditions of the pregnant women or early identification of high risk and management of high risk, we found to be an important element in the whole ecosystem. And can we centralize that over a pregnant woman? So what she is looking at, a personalized input, which actually can help her to improve the health condition. Now, she may not be aware, but ultimately that's her desire. And are we meeting up those expectations? I'll give an example. When we are talking about a health worker who is going at the pregnant women's home and like having a register, putting an information on the register, versus a health worker who is performing the test, telling her your HB is this much, and you have to visit a doctor, we have seen a significant difference. And I got a good validation in a Harvard Public Health School's presentation that if we are linking that, the component of health workers and the pregnant women, we are seeing that the referral and the more engagement is happening. And that is what WHO's revised recommendation on ANC visit also talks about, increased contact points. How we can achieve it. So we see that 8 contact points is something that WHO referring to, but at least 4 with the right involvement of pregnant women and a community health worker can happen or not. Where and how that technology can play the role. But importantly, the other aspects are also there. We talk of technology, but we look from the doctor and the health worker's perspective. Social recognition and incentives to them is also another issue that we have seen is not addressed effectively. So all these problems, how do we engage? We plan to have a solution, rather a solution which is already functional with more than 1,000 health workers in 10 states of India, which is engaging direct home visit as well as last mile care visit with a set of point of care technologies equipped with a mobile application and also a dashboard which helps on managing the pregnancy in terms of prenatal and postnatal visits. So it is a very comprehensive program which is planned not just in terms of taking the technology at the home, but training of the health workers in a phased manner. Not just, you introduce the technology and you go away, but introduction, then utilization and intervention. We have phased that training into 3 things. Then we see that how we can engage technology to give a personalized input. Using mobile app in terms of AI and decision support tools, we are able to create some information for that health worker based upon the history of the mother as well as the current tests those are performed. So health worker is able to make some decisions and link that mother to a facility or at least communicate a message which is very much relevant to her for her gestational age, not a generalized message. And that's what technology in an offline condition also can offer. So we fit very well into the existing government system. This has been functional. And one last element in the corner I would mention that now, considering the future aspect of it, a lot of families will have smartphones, some of them already have it. Why not to think now itself? engage at least those possible on a platform and try to see can we offload and engage in a different manner. The results are amazing. I'll share some data afterwards, but that's what we have seen, that after reaching out to significant number of pregnancies, places, right from the tribal district, municipal corporation of Mumbai to the 20 kilometers from Burma border in Nagaland, we have seen similar results. So people want it, we need to see how exactly we package into the system and involve them effectively. So we've been a startup who have worked with ICMR as well as OECD recently published our report awarded by President of India, the Queen and Government of Maharashtra. So in a way the technology is accepted. We have demonstrated to a significant level with various organizations and we are in touch with government for larger adoptions as well. I won't go with the details of the slide, but yeah. So right now with Maharashtra, we have done an experiment with 3 very specific conditions: tribal/aspirational district, urban slums, and rural conditions. The results are inspiring, and I would be happy to take more questions on that. Ultimately, coming up to the point of personalized engagement. Now, what to do with this data? We have the data coming up from their ANC visits, but until and unless we use it in a personalized manner, it won't be justified. So we are working with a set of organizations to create that structure wherein, based upon their clinical history and the current test, we'll be able to provide the very specific and customized input, which otherwise they would have to visit a nutritionist, which is possibly impossible. So I would say that we are working on a Nutrimo, which is our next investment from our end, to give a personalized input to pregnant women for both herself as well as child, to get more integrated nutritional care with the help of same platform. So there have been stories, people are liking it from both cities, so it's not specific to only urban area or rural condition. As I said, we have experimented all across, and people are really wanting this solution. So we have reached to more than 100,000 people with 1,000 plus visits at home, and looking forward to introduce a very personalized, customized nutritional care solution for pregnant women and children. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Shantanu. Our time's up. Just want to make an important message. India's median age is 27 years old, which means that we have a lot of young people, and among those young people, there's a lot of young people are hungry to solve challenges by taking up entrepreneurship as a profession. And we have 3 of them here. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for them. Thank you.